it's going to get a lot louder. What's up, you guys? FSC Speed Shop. Right here we have my friend Beano's 2006 Cadillac XLR-V. Now what we're going to do with this car is, it's going to get a lot louder. The car is stock as you see it, with the exception of the rims. He put a different set of aftermarket Cadillac wheels on it. However, with that being said, it's sadly too quiet and we want to add some performance to it. So we brought it up here to my shop and we're getting ready to put a set of Corsa Exhaust on it. Now you guys that subscribe to this channel have seen this car before. If you have not, let me go ahead and take the opportunity to suggest going ahead and subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell, that we'll get updates on other builds and things that we do, including things with this car right here. Now you may or may not know much about the Cadillac XLR or its V variant, which is what this is. This car is built around the Corvette platform. What this has up front is a supercharged 4.4 liter V8 with the transaxle mounted in the rear, so the drive shaft in the middle spins at the engine's speed, not at a transmission's output shaft speed. It has the center exit exhaust, again being factory. This car, different from the XLR, comes with the large supercharger under the hood, hence it has the extra hump compared to the flat hood of the standard XLR. So with that, let's go ahead and show you what the stock Cadillac XLR-V sounds like. I'll let you see what it sounds like with the top down from inside the car. As you can see, it's pretty quiet, and that's with the top down. We'll go ahead and put the top up and let you hear that quick. So as you can see, the car does need a little attention when it comes to the exhaust. So let's go ahead and get started. Now one thing I did notice is this car has factory valving in the factory exhaust system. If you look down the tubes that exit the car, this one goes directly into the muffler. This one has a valve in there, you can see it. It's open right now. There's a vacuum diaphragm, and it makes me wonder what it actually does on this factory exhaust. Now maybe somebody understands these cars and the way they're built more than I do. However, the new exhaust system will not have that. It'll just be wide open and free flowing. So I have to move the car now because we pulled it in last night. That's why it's a little wet. It rained on the car last night while I was working on my truck in this very same spot. So now we're gonna start the car. I have to put it up on board so I can get my floor jacks underneath it and then raise it up. But once we start it, I wanna see, do those valves open or do they close? Let's go ahead and find out. Obviously, it closes as soon as the car starts. I don't know when it opens, so that's curious. I gassed on it. My son was watching it. I couldn't see it from inside the car. He said it stayed closed the whole time, so I guess I'll review it in editing of this video. Either way, that's getting cut up out of there. It doesn't much matter. I just have to make sure that I don't create a vacuum leak or a code in the car by disassembling that and deleting whatever valving is in there. So guys, subscribe to the channel, guys. Come on, I'm bringing you this content. My best friend right here, Beano, he's nice enough to let me work on his car for the content. Plus, he doesn't get charged any labor here, obviously. By the way, you've seen this car in other videos, and you've seen my best friend in these videos in the past as well. With that being said, ladies, remember, he's single. Now they borrow, seems like they borrow straight out of the GM Corvette parts bin, the front suspension, including the big monolith front and rear spring. That's that big piece right there going from one wheel to the other. What we're going to install is from the catalytic converters. We'll be breaking that joint loose right there, then on down where your resonators would go and your H-pipe, and then on back towards the back transaxle. Here's your factory exhaust tips. The center ones are ones that are valved and the outer ones are not. And there's your actuator here to open and close these valves, and your gigantic muffler cans right here. Again, same as on the Corvettes, the monolith suspension. Forward of that, sorry about shadow, forward of that is your transaxle right here. We'll loosen up, potentially. I'll get that one, I can't get it. Good, that's good. Loosen up potential rust, that way them bolts don't break. Let that soak while we start towards the back. So now that I look, I might have to drop this anti-sway arm on the back because the muffler clears the beef bracket right here, this big cast aluminum, but it won't clear this to come down. So I'm probably gonna have to take some of this apart to get this muffler off. Now one thing I noticed is this bolt holds the lower control arm in place. That's not important, but what is important is now that I've relaxed this, when I retighten this, I have to have the suspension at normal ride height so that rubber doesn't remain torqued down, and when it sits regular on a normal position, it'll be constantly twisted. So I'm gonna have to, before I button this down, I have to put weight on the wheels, roll it to relax the suspension a little. I can basically back it up on a set of ramps or something and then retorque this. As long as I leave the bolt, we're good. Obviously that's what's holding up the car now. If I have to, I can move the jack stands to another location, but that'll do for now. Sway arms out of the way. What we decided was we're going to take the center pipe off and move it forward, because I thought I could get the mufflers off with the center pipe in place. Turned out not to be the case. So I could drop the center pipe down and shove it forward a little bit, thus giving me more clearance to get that muffler out. So I got the center mount already off on both sides. Now I just got to turn around and pop them off the head pipes. Donut seals. These are donut seals. What they do is they go in the pipes here and they seal in that flange right there. These are in good shape. I didn't damage it when I pushed against it. There's right there, so we're fine. Again, easily available. But alright, so the donut seals go in here, seal there. We're not reusing this, obviously. Now we'll shake this pipe out of here, and that should enable me to get the mufflers out much easier now. See, that's what you think from working backwards, forwards, even though you're taking it back off first, or so I thought. See, now that loose muffler is giving me headache. Oh, gotta love it. Here, set the camera so it holds itself, and hold that muffler. Push up. Oh, there you go. All right, that one's loose. Clang bang. There's your center plate removed. Spray a little oil on that. Make it slippery. Done. So now we'll stick the resonators in one at a time. Put the donut in, and then these go in opposing each other, like so. They fit in that pocket. The other one will fit right here. Almost like the car was designed to have that there, even though it wasn't what was there. Although it makes you wonder if what was here was aftermarket or factory. I really don't know. The mufflers obviously were factory. We'll snug these down. We're not going to sink them. We're not going to set them down until we actually get the whole exhaust system on. So just leave it dangle loose a little bit. Important note to self, I already put the clamps on in the direction I want to tighten them. We leave them loose for the time being. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to do a little custom work under here. Corsa did not make it exact to fit. I'll show you. The bracket here is not higher than the pipe. Even if I were to flip this upside down, the angles are wrong, the bends of the pipe are wrong, but this will fit the way it is. However, this bracket should be more forward and a lot taller. Look at the stock pipe here. You see how that bracket goes higher than the top of the pipe? This bracket here is a little lower than middle of the pipe. These springs don't come down enough to grab that. And that's the pipe smushed against the car. These do not bolt on here. So what I'm gonna have to make is an intermediate bracket to bolt to these stock holes and hook to these factory hold downs so the pipe will ride at the proper angle. I'll put the center pipe up on it again. Hold downs. We get, right there. Thank you. Couldn't find the nuts. We'll just leave them dangling with a little looseness to it. Same reason as on the front mounts of the, they call them tube mufflers. They look like resonators.
So like this. And see how much that is so much easier. Look at that.
Okay, that's in. Now if you look at the offset of the hangers, this is the passenger side muffler. You see the tips, the offset, this is the driver's side. See, it's offset towards this direction. So this is the passenger side, this is the driver's side. Grab that one, we'll stick it in now. The vacuum actuator right here, rather than a solenoid or electrical switch, I'm gonna put this vacuum cap, that way the engine doesn't have a vacuum leak because the exhaust actuators no longer exist. The protective coating on the tips we will take off once the mufflers are installed. That way there's no chance of me scratching them in installation. Keeping the bolts. Got them. Taking these clamps apart because you got to put never sees on the threads of these stainless bolts. If you don't, it came with the Corsa kit. If you don't, that from the heat, like basically makes it almost welded tight, and then it doesn't want to ever come off. So there's the center of the car. Right here's the point of the bumper right there. You run down, you see she's centered. See, that's a weird thing. If you stare at it long enough, you'll think it's a little crooked. And there she sits. Big thing for me is clearance from the bumper cover to the tips. Right there, you see how the bumper cover is not close to the tips, and they wobble. Now there's a pipe underneath there for that vacuum that's rubbing when I wiggle. I'll have to bend that out of the way. But there you go. And you see they stick out just a touch. Then you come in and they disappear just about the same time. The other thing is you want them level so they don't look all crooked. Okay, I wasn't quite happy with it, so I pulled the driver's side back a touch, about 1/8 of an inch. And if we center ourselves, watch the pipes disappear at the same time and reappear at the same time. Watch the insides one disappear simultaneously, and then the outsides disappear simultaneously right there, see? Wobble back and forth. That gets your alignment right. There's your resonators or tube mufflers. And it splits up and over the transaxle. Your muffler cans and your tips. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, especially Beano. By the way, ladies, he's single. So we're going to pull it fairly respectively. This is with the top up and the windows rolled up. Well, there's the car. We're down at Beano's. Ladies, he's single, by the way. There's one of the other toys. There's the man of the hour right there.
Cheers. Best. Oh man, that sounds so great. Thanks for my boy Steve, Forensic, whatever you call yourself on YouTube.
Hey, don't forget, my boy Beano's single. He needs someone to be on the back of that bike while he does Burnout.